Hi guys, welcome to Eminent Stitches. I am Bukola. Today I'm sharing a tutorial on how to make 6-piece skirts. And before we start making a 6-piece skirt, we need simple illustration and a calculation. So the measurements that we are going to be needing is our hips measurements, our waist measurements, then our knee length and our knee circumference, then our skirt length. Now the simple illustration that I want to do before cutting my skirts is now to calculate seaming allowance to stitch. No, this is 3 pieces now. It's already 3 pieces, Abi. Let's assume this is the front and back. This is 6 pieces now. The stitch that we are going to use to stitch this place with this place, then this place to this place, like this. Stitch that we are going to use to add it to stitch it together here is 1 inch. Let me write it here. 1 inch. That is 1 inch. To stitch this very place, this place to this place, is another 1 inch. 1 plus 1, making 2 inches. Making 2 inches for the front. Then the major measurements to join the front part with the back part, that is these three. Now after I might have stitched it together, the seaming allowance, the major one that we need to join this place with the other parts, the back parts here, is going to be 1.5. That is 1.5 inches. Then 1.5 here, 1.5 here, making 3 inches. That 3 inches plus the first 2 inches to join the middle pieces together is going to give us 5 plus 2 is going to give us 5 inches. Hope I'm clear enough. The first one, half inch, 0.5 here, 0.5 here, together will give us 1 inch to join this place with this place. That's one. Then to join the second to the third one here with this place, to stitch it will be 1 inch. Then the 1 inches will give us 2 inches. Then the major seaming allowance to join the sides, both sides together, the front with the back part, is going to be 3 inches, because we are going to be adding 1 inches to the both sides. So it's going to be 3 inches plus the 2 inches. It's equal to 5 inches. So all together now for the front and back, it means we are using 10 inches for our seaming allowance. We are using 10 inches for our seaming allowance. Now, then one thing I want to explain is the back part of the skirts. The back part of the skirts will be different. There's going to be what's called zip wrap, or we can call it zip allowance, anyone. So the zip allowance that I'm leaving here is what makes the back part different. That is the one that is going to be at the center of the bookstore, at the back of our skirt. Here is it. So that one will be in pieces. Then this red sign will be as our, let's assume it's our zip allowance. Let's get started. So we have calculated 10 inches as our seaming allowance. It's 10 inches for our seaming allowance. So the next thing now is to calculate, is to add that seaming allowance with our waist. Our waist is 28 plus 10 inches. Then we are going to calculate our hip. Our hip measurement is 35 plus that 10 inches. Then our knee circumference, to get our knee circumference will be hip measurements minus 35 and minus 2 inches. Our hip measurement minus 2 inches will give us 33. That 33 is our knee circumference. That knee circumference plus 10. Also, our skirt length, we also adding. So now for the hip measurement is 35 plus the 10 inches that we have calculated earlier for seaming allowance is going to give us 45. That 45 divided by 6 is going to give us 7.5. Here is it with the help of calculator. So our waist now is 28. That 28 plus 10 inches is equal to 38. 38 divided by 6 is equal to 6.3. Here is our knee circumference. How did I get my knee circumference? I got my knee circumference by minus 2 inches from my standard measurement for my hips. The actual measurement for my hips is 35 minus 2 inches gave me 33. 33 plus that very 10 inches that we have been adding for seaming allowance, it gave me 43. That 43 now divided by 6. 43 divided by 6. It's supposed to be 43 divided by 6. It gave me 7.1. That is how I got this one. That you are going to minus 2 inches from your normal hips measurement, or you could do more than that. It depends on how you want your skirt to look. If you want it to be too somehow shapy, you understand, you can do more than that. But I think this 2 inches is okay for me. And if your cuff is big, you can do more than this too. So for the skirt length, I said that earlier, that is 39 plus 1.5. Then before starting folding my fabric, I want to explain this to us. Folding our fabric, there's one particular thing I want to call I want us to notice. If you are going to make a kind of skirt with elastic, this 39 that is your skirt length, you are going to add 2 inches to it. You are going to add, it's going to be 39 plus 2 inches. That 2 inches is for your elastic passage. That is the place it will be at your waistline. So if you want to measure your waist to hip length, your own is going to be 10 instead of 8 inches, because the standard measurement for that is 8 inches. But because you are adding 2 for your elastic passage, it's going to make it 10 inches. I think I'm clear enough with that. Then if you are going to add band, if you are going to add band to your skirt length, let's assume the skirt length is still 39. You want to add band to your skirt. If you want to add band to your skirt, it's going to be 39 inches the skirt length minus 1.5. This 1.5 here is the height of your band. What I mean by the height of your band, let's assume this edge is our skirt. Then the height of band is where your band starts and where it ends. So 1 inch is okay. You could do 2 inches, but I think that 1 inch is okay. So that 1 inch now will be your 39 inches for skirt length will be will minus 1.5 from it. It's going to give us 37.5. Then the skirt measurement you are going to be using is 37.5. Why when you are putting elastic, you are going to add to your measurement, but when you are putting band, you are going to remove that band from your skirt length. Then if you are going to do bandless, like the one I'm making today, it's going to be bandless. I don't need band, you understand. I will just start with my normal skirt length. Then one thing I want to explain about this very one, sorry I forgot, is that after removing your 1.5, that 1.5 you will remove it from your 8 inches for the normal 8 your waist to hip line. I said your waist to hip line is 8 inches. Now that you are removing 1.5 out of it, it's going to give us 6.5. So hope I'm clear. So to know the fabric that we are going to use, the width of our hemi part of our skirt, and let me say the fabric that we are going to be folding for these each pieces is going to be that 7.5 plus 6. Let me add 6 inches, so it will give me 13.5. That 13.5 now is this. So I'm going to divide it by 2 because I want to fold it together. I don't want to cut it openly like this. I want to fold it, then I will cut it. It's going to give me this 6 inches 3/4. Then I'll fold it. I'm going to fold it. That is what I need for each pieces, except the one at the middle back that will be different. Sorry, it's taking me too much time to fold my fabric. So now, what to do now, as we have calculated our measurements to make it easy, what to do now, I will draw a guideline because I wouldn't like the savage of the fabric to show on my garments. So from this guideline, I will start with my vertical measurement. From here to my hip line, I told us it's a standard measurement. This is 8. Then from waist to my knee length is 17. From my waist to the floor length of the skirt, I mean the hemi part, is 39. 39 plus 1.5 will give me 14 and a half. Here is mine. Then I will extend all the lines. And this is knee length. Then these are so next thing now is to start from the waist line. My waistline is 6.3. 6.3 will be, let me fold 6.3. Just fold your tape measure into 2. 6.3. This 6.3. Mark it here. Then hip line is 7.5. Fold your tape measure again. You mark it like this. Then the leg length is 7.1. Next thing is to connect all the points together. This is my hip line to my waistline now. Then from my waistline to my knee line. the next thing is to connect to the hemi part of my skirt. So that is all. So it's very easy when you don't know the necessary calculation before you start cutting your skirt. The next thing is to cut out my skirt. This is our skirt. Then this is the savage. Let me trim it out off. Trimming this off. So the next thing is to cut out our skirts. Now this is our skirt. This is it. We remove the fabric so we can see how it looks. Here is it. So I'll just be placing this one now on the remaining fabric to cut out the remaining pieces. Then what I'm going to do now, you just follow the same protocol to cut all the remaining. Then what I'm going to do now is to cut out the back parts of my skirt. I think that one has different method of cutting it, because we are going to include another allowance for zip allowance to that one. So I will do that now. That's 7.5 plus 6 inches. That is, it will give us 13 inches plus 0.5. That 13 inches 0.5 now. We are going to, before you fold it, you are going to add 2 inches to it for our zip allowance. But you could make your zip allowance to be 1 inch. You can make it 1 inch. You can make it 2 inches, and you can, I don't think you can make it 1.5 too. But here I'm using 2 inches. So now that 13.5 plus 2 inches. Or let me do it like this. Still the same thing. Don't forget, I will draw my guide line. 30, this is 13.5 divided into 2 now. 13.5 divided into 2. Here is it. Then here to this place is not up to what I need. It's 2 inches. So let me now do it as it's supposed to be. So this is 2 inches for the steaming allowance. Then my 13.5, this my 13.5 here. So it means my measurement is complete now. So it's going to be the same thing that will measure all the way to the hemi part of the skirts. So now let me measure what is here. What exactly do I have here? This is 8. This is 8¾ So the same measurements, I'm going to measure it to make sure that my measurement is accurate. It's not for anything, just to know that my measurement is accurate. Now it's accurate. Next thing to do is to cut my skirt. I'm marking my 2 inches all the way from the waistline to the hemline of my skirt. This my skirt length and my hip length. That's 7.5 plus 6 inches. That is, it will give us 13 inches plus 0.5. That 13 inches 0.5 now, we are going to, before you fold it, you are going to add 2 inches to it for our zip allowance. But you could make your zip allowance to be 1 inch. You can make it 1 inch. You can make it 2 inches, and you can, I don't think you can make it 1.5 too. But here I'm using 2 inches. So now that 13.5 plus 2 inches, or let me do it like this, it's still the same thing. Don't forget, I will draw my guide line. 30, this is 13.5 divided into 2 now. 13.5 divided into 2. Here is it. Then here to this place is not up to what I need. It's 2 inches. So let me now do it as it's supposed to be. So this is 2 inches for the steaming allowance. Then my 13.5, this my 13.5 here. So it means my measurement is complete now. So it's going to be the same thing that will measure all the way to the hemi part of the skirts. So now let me measure what is here. What exactly do I have here? This is 8. This is 8 3/4. So the same measurements, I'm going to measure it to make sure that my measurement is accurate. It's not for anything, just to know that my measurement is accurate. Now it's accurate. Next thing to do is to cut my skirt. I'm marking my 2 inches all the way from the waistline to the hemline of my skirt. Now this is our skirt. This is it. Let me remove the fabric so we can see how it looks. Here is it. So I'll just be placing this one now on the remaining fabric to cut out the remaining pieces. Then what I'm going to do now, you just follow the same protocol to cut all the remaining. Then what I'm going to do now is to cut out the back parts of my skirt. I think that one has different method of cutting it, because we are going to include another allowance for zip allowance to that one. So I will do that now. So now my waist to my hip, then to my knee, from knee to our skirt length, it's 14 and a half. Then I will connect all my 2 inches together. Let me connect all the points I need. Yeah, I'm done with that. The next thing now is to start my measurements. Our waistline is 6.3. 6.3. Here is 6.3. This from 3. My knee length. This is my knee length. On my knee length is 7.1. This is 7.1. This is 7.1. And that is all. The next thing is to connect the point. Okay, my hip, sorry, forgot to. My hip. So on our hip we have 7.5. That's 7.5 divided by 2. It's better, I would prefer, if you are making your own, fold your tape measure into 2 for accuracy. So that you'll be able to get the accurate measurements that you need. If you are to be calculating all these points, you may not get the accurate measurements right. So I'm connecting the part to the knee length. So I'm done with the cutting of my sketching of my skirt. Now the next thing is to cut it out. This lace is zip wrap 2 inches. Then after you measure your zip wrap, you connect it to the knee and any part of the skirt. Then you cut out. Then you insert your measurements on your fabric. Then the next thing is to cut it out. And I told us that if you want to calculate the wideness of your skirt, like this hemi part now, that I added 6 to mine, my hips measurements plus 6 gave me this place, the wideness of the hemi part. If you want your own to be more than that, you can do 12, you could do 10, depends on your fabric, you understand. But I have just 2 yards here. Now the next thing to do now is to cut this into 2. Let me trim off the servage of the fabric. So the next thing now is to cut this piece. Now I am done with the cutting of my 6 pieces skirts. Please, if you find this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to like, share and comment. Drop your comments at the comments box, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I also appreciate all our subscribers that have been encouraging us. Thank you very much. God bless you. And if you are watching this channel for the first time, please like and share that. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Let's get to the other stand for the stitching.